Is great. I was really worried about carrying a coat on the plane, you know, especially when you have to fly in those little small planes. And I'm telling you, if I was any bigger, I couldn't have got in that seat. I don't know how you can get on those planes sometimes. There's no room. My knees were against the front. There's no room on either side of you. It's just ridiculous how they do these planes. But my goodness, anyway, I'm trying to work on my weight, people. You know, sometimes, a couple years ago, and this lady looked at me and she frowned and she said, "You don't look like your picture." And I said, "I'm sorry." You know, but what can you do? It's 18 pounds besides the rest of the weight. So my husband is eating lean cuisines with me now, trying to help me because he knows I'm mad when I can't go get my clothes on. And you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Let me tell you, they're reading it with our mouth hold. I know he didn't write this. And basically, my husband got mad. He wanted me to throw it, but honey, look, that letter is up in my office. It's here. You know, I'll be reading that letter when I'm this big and 65. You know what I'm talking about? Because, you know, I swear I'm getting my summer clothes this year. This is the third year I've been able to get my summer clothes. And what can we do? You can't hide it in a few more months. Jackson is Mr. Smith. Okay? And that baby powder that I rub on his skin, that actually happened. You know what I'm talking about? And he loves that baby powder on his sheets. But anyway, Mr. Smith is tall, he's suave. He's not one of what you call that drop-dead gorgeous man, but he's that man that you'll turn back around and look at. You know what I'm talking about? He's dark-skinned, and I like chocolate men. He's chocolate, he's slim, and I mean, he looks good in his clothes. He has gone with me on book tours, and women remember the suit he had on, the colored tie he had on. When I go different places, they say, "Where's your husband?" You know, and they ask for him before they ask for me. So he's made an impression all around the United States, all over the place, and it's just something. You know, is Jackson here? They don't even, you know, Mr. Smith, is Jackson here? And he is just happened in factories, and also the murder that happened between Luella and what is his name? And Valentino. That actually happened at our plant. That murder actually happened at our plant about in 1989. There was a girl, a young lady, who was married, like Luella was, and she was very promiscuous. She would go outside in the parking lot, and she would have sexual relations with men in vans, and she would come back inside. And he told her that he had to break off the relationship and he could no longer continue their affair. Well, she didn't like that because she broke up with you. You didn't break up with her. And so what happened is she was so pissed off that he broke up with her. Excuse me, that's the only word I can use. She was so pissed off. She went over there and beat up his wife. She beat up his wife and put him in the hospital. Well, he went upstairs in the committee room, just exactly how it is in Blue Collar Blues, and told her that, BITCH, you better call your family because you're about to be a dead B. He went back out into his car, got the gun, which I changed it in Blue Collar Blues. And he went and got his gun, came up there and he shot her 5 times.